The APNU is saying they have not closed the door on the Amaila Falls Hydro Project despite taking a bashing from the government for voting against legislation that would have advanced aspects of the project. At the party weekly press briefing on Friday, opposition leader David Grinder said if the project is badly managed, it could severely damage the national economy. The government is pushing for the project, saying it would provide cheaper electricity to all Guyanese. But the APNU leader said all efforts were made by the opposition to save the project. Shadow Finance Minister Carl Greenidge also expressed his views on the issue.
Know that we spent about 2 hours negotiating so that we could save the Amaila Falls project. The defeat of the bills was entirely the responsibility of the central government. But we spent time in the Speaker's office. The Speaker himself tried to move between the two sides, and we did everything that was possible on our side to ensure that the Amaila Falls project could be saved, but it could be saved in the interest of the Guyanese nation. We were concerned with the public good, but I think the position that the government took was not one that we could support in the final analysis.
Because you have a government that believes that although it has lost the election, it's won the presidency in the election, it is empowered to do whatever it wishes. And if it puts legislation on the table, you have to embrace and support that legislation.
According to Greenwich, the government and the opposition have been in discussion on a number of issues, including the hydro project. Shadow Finance Minister said at no point did the government present the specific amendments to the bill and motion which appeared on Thursday in the National Assembly. He said he was aware that a set-aside was required by the IDB draft.
There were two bills, or a bill and a motion. One of them pertained to the debt ceiling, which you correctly identified, and the other, which is called the hydro bill, pertained to the establishment of what is called a set-aside, a reserve, an area equivalent to the size of the dam and the lake, as it were, the reservoir, that the bank required us to have.
Another issue the APNU is not too comfortable with is the rising of the country's external debt ceiling of $150 billion.
Is the government borrowing money from the Inter-American Development Bank? Is the government borrowing money from others? And if so, what is the total amount the government is borrowing, and what is it that it is guaranteeing? In fact, if you look at the information available to us, the client, the entity borrowing from the IDB is actually Scythe Global, okay? 150 million US, or somewhere in that region, and normally those arrangements are, in the context of multilateral financial institutions, reasonably straightforward.
Reporting for Capital News, Royston Drakes.